and you're going to be right here in the Rocket City, which is why we're here in the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. No tornado warning issued yet by the National Weather Service, but there's enough on radar for me to be concerned a bit towards County Road 610 and between that and Green Hill Boulevard. Wind chill down into the teens out there tomorrow morning, so you're going to need to bundle up. You definitely need that winter gear. That snow was packed up. Now that sun, it's already warmed up that road. We're getting readings of 40 to 41 degree temperatures here on the shoulder. We've got several severe thunderstorm warnings. The one impacting North Huntsville right along the Parkway, anywhere from about a half an inch to an inch in diameter with this hail. 60+ mile-per-hour winds, intense tornadoes, your two primary threats tomorrow. When we start to see an S in the shear rate, that's a sign that there's twisting in the atmosphere, and generally that leads to tornadic activity. We are on the back side of this wave that's just moving through Moulton. We are now in Moulton, just north of downtown, and boy, that rain really has picked up. Visibility very poor, creating stronger energy for these storms to feed off of, and that is when we expect these to really just explode and become violent. 3 to 6 inches of snow, and it's a wet snow, that packing snow you make snowballs with. Talked with a couple of drivers and crew chiefs earlier today about how the weather affects the cars. Here at Talladega, wind the biggest issue. We've got delays in both directions because of this. Southbound California as well as Governor's Drive eastbound and even westbound into downtown. Right now 85 in Huntsville, and that heat continuing to build, meaning we are going to see that threat of some stronger storms as we get towards the afternoon. It is all to raise awareness for Alzheimer's as we're getting ready to play some golf here at the club. The storms out of Tennessee have more of an easterly path to them, and as that comes together, we could see some turning in the atmosphere. That helps to create spin in these storms. This is north of I-565 all the way up towards Meridianville, Moores Mill. This is where we've already seen radar estimates, which are close to about 5 inches. It's in the atmosphere. The good news is we haven't built up as much instability east of I-65 yet today. However, we still have quite a bit of moisture. We do have that shear, and man, that's pretty impressive. Just looking at this radar scan, you can see at least 4 or 5, one right behind the banner, one just towards the west of Hamilton. You can 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 supercell storms. Now, as Brad was mentioning, if there are going to be any that really take off, we probably would place the bets on the ones towards Hamilton and the one just southwest of Hamilton, because they're not moving through air that's already pretty much disturbed. We've got this strong south flow. You've probably felt it walking outdoors today. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. So what those are doing is it's pulling that air northward. What happens is when we get this rain and even the blow off, you see how the lighter rain over right now Lawrence County, that blow off cools the atmosphere down. So that south wind, that's what we call inflow for these storms. And as that inflows into these storms towards the north, they're pulling in cooler air. That's just weakening them, and that's why we're seeing these storms into Lauderdale County, Culver County kind of weaken a bit as they move north and east. But my bet would be on these storms just to the west of Double Springs, south of Hamilton, to take off over the next hour or so, because they're going to be moving through air that really hasn't been disturbed at all. And that tornado watch does include that entire area. It's actually one of those river effect snow squalls starting to pick up just north of Valparaiso Springs. Earlier, we actually were seeing some sunshine, and that is what is just like lake effect snow off towards the Great Lakes. You get these waves or bands off the river, especially when you get this extreme cold come into the upper atmosphere. You want about a 23-degree temperature change between the water and about a mile up in the atmosphere. What we're seeing right now, 41-degree water temperatures of the Tennessee River, and just about a mile up we're at about 10 to 15 degrees. So there's that big temperature change, and now what we're seeing is that northwesterly wind. When we see these heavy snowflakes, they pile up pretty quickly. I measured about 2 inches of snow here just north of Valparaiso Springs a little bit earlier, and they come down pretty quickly. Earlier, this happened off towards Decatur, north of Tanner, or near Tanner, where Tina Vargas sent in this video earlier this morning. Roads deteriorate quickly with these types of situations. The good news is here off towards northern Morgan County, the roads have been okay so far. That what we've seen But as you see with this video from Tina, it can get very treacherous very quickly, and this is going to probably continue as long as we've got this cold air and this northwesterly wind right off the river. The good news is I measured the road temperature here a little bit ago, 36 degrees, and you can even see the steam coming off the road as the sun comes out. However, once that sun goes away, you can even start to see the snow start to stick to the outer sides of the road. So that's what we'll have to watch for northern Morgan County. That stretches all the way from Limestone County down into Morgan and Marshall counties, and we're going to see this for places like Albertville and Gunnersville, which we've seen all morning. We'll keep an eye out here through Morgan County in the next half an hour and have another update for you live here from Valparaiso Springs in just a bit.
Meteorologist Brandon Spinner tracking all of this for you as with the temperatures dropping this morning.
Yeah, they're seeing snow in Houston. That's how far south this winter weather gets. As far as what we're looking at, the major impacts here are going to be travel issues and then sleet and snow accumulation after the ice. With that icing, don't be surprised if we're talking tree damage, and then as we get closer to that half-inch of ice, that's when the power outages are really going to start to pick up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing widespread power outages across the valley because of this. Mainly because of the weight of that ice on the power lines, but also trees falling down as well. Here's a look at this just expansive system bringing inches of snow from the Ohio area down into Texas, Oklahoma. As we showed you that video out of Texas, Midland, Texas, we've got freezing rain just towards our south and west, and that's our primary concern here in the Tennessee Valley. Showers in Tuscaloosa, but just west of there at the state line, that freezing rain already starting to occur, and we'll see that begin here in the valley shortly. Already just towards Double Springs, that bulk of that first round of precipitation. Maybe some freezing fog out there as well. That's one thing I haven't mentioned yet, but want to keep you up to date on. Freezing fog is just going to act like that freezing rain. It's just very, very, very tiny water droplets. That's what Eric was seeing in the headlights of his vehicle, and that's what's creating those issues out there this morning, along with the fact that our temperatures on the road surfaces are already well below freezing in much of northwest Alabama, and that's why ice will rack up real quickly here, and that's why over the next couple of hours I expect travel to be pretty much impossible west of I-65. Sand Mountain, you're okay, and you should stay okay for the next several hours, but it's this afternoon that I'm more concerned about for you. There's that live look in Tuscumbia that I was talking about from the emergency manager tower right in downtown Tuscumbia. You can see the roadways there already covered in ice, and we're going to see more ice on top of that, then potentially sleet and snow accumulating on top of that, which, just think about it. You go and walk on a icy lake or any icy puddle, you have anything on top of it, it makes it even worse. 29 in Athens, indicator right now temperature wise, 28 in Muscle Shoals and Moulton, but we'll see freezing rain even though our temperatures are below freezing because we've got some warmer air in the mid levels of the atmosphere. And I'll break down how that changes things from rain to sleet, maybe freezing rain and snow in just a minute. Hour by hour here throughout the morning, you can see the darker pink really picking up across North Alabama. This is through lunchtime, past lunchtime. Heavy rain for Sand Mountain. Snow to the north and west starting to filter in as well. Think we'll miss the bulk of the snow. Actually, we're wishing this was more so snow than ice. And then overnight into tomorrow, some snow showers and flurries dissipate. As far as potential ice accumulation, this is the highest I've seen it, and this is the latest model data coming through. Half an inch to an inch. Anything over 3/4 of an inch is just devastation. So don't be surprised if we're talking that. And why bridges and overpasses? Well, that air gets underneath bridges a lot easier than the roads that have the ground underneath that to help keep that air surface on the road a little warmer. And that's why we see icing on bridges and overpasses. Already reports of that. As far as precipitation types, when we've got that warmer level in the atmosphere, it changes that rain over to freezing rain because at the surface we've got that colder air and it instantly freezes upon contact. So today, a first alert weather day, tomorrow as well, because look at tomorrow's high temperature, 30 degrees. We're not going to get above freezing, so any ice that occurs sticks around into Wednesday. Finally starts to melt Wednesday to Thursday with more rain and snow Thursday afternoon. It was the wettest February on record for the Tennessee Valley, with many areas seeing more than 14 inches of rain. And all that rain led to devastating flooding across several Muscle Shoals communities, pushing many people from their homes.
They took us out in the boat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they took us out in the boat because the water was so high.
Nearly a year later, most residents are back to living a normal life in their homes. However, some have yet to return. We noticed this house seems to be empty. Is that the case?
It is right now.
Is that because of the flooding or?
Yes, it is. She has no flooring in the house yet, because she's in the process of moving back.
Those that have moved back, there's still work to do.
The only thing I got left right now is to paint doors. But, you know, we had a lot of help.
Folks in the Nathan Estates community did not have flood insurance. They lost everything they had due to last year's flooding and did not meet the criteria for FEMA assistance.
Everything we do out here that we did, all the people here were out of pocket.
What would you say the expenses cost to fix the home?
So far, between $60,000 and $80,000.
I talked with Colbert County EMA Deputy Director Jody Hitt on what lessons were learned from last year's flood and how the city and county are trying to prevent an event of this degree from happening again.
Trial and error. You never know how good you never know how good you are until you have it, and we learned a lot from that last year. Just knowing where we can barricade and start rerouting traffic ahead of time and all that. The city of Mushoes has been pumping more this time.
A new pumping station has been installed in the Nathan Estates community since last year's flooding. The pump is helping to keep water levels down for the retention pond in their neighborhood.
So they're keeping it down pretty good. So far, it looks pretty good so far.
While the pump is a big help, some worry it's still not enough to prevent future flooding.
The last rain we had, it was like halfway up in my yard then. It was halfway up my mailbox. It was up the bottom of my mailbox last year.
And while the water levels with this year's storms have yet to reach last year's magnitude, residents are still fearful it may happen again.
Everybody around here is scared to death every time it rains. And that's sad. We shouldn't be afraid to live in our houses.
Brandon Spinner, 48 News.